Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Just Saying Football with Jack and Sean. I'm your host, Sean Gale, alongside my partner, Jack McNicholas. We're here to bring you news, notes, weekly updates, and game analysis of your favorite teams from around the league. If you have not had the chance, go check out our website at justsayingfootball.com and follow us on Instagram at justsayingNoGWJS for article and video updates. All right, buddy. Week 4 continues that Sunday at 4 o'clock. Week 4 continues. Oh, my God. Week 8. Week 8 continues at 4 o'clock. Ugh. My brain. Let's kick it right off. We have the New England Patriots going to LA to take on the Chargers. Now, this game was also played in LA last year, and the Patriots did not let up a single point. The Chargers were unable to score against them. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, and last year it was Cam Newton who got 4 touchdowns in that game. And, now I think the Chargers this year are in a little bit different of a spot where we are not going to have any shutouts from them. Justin Herbert's no longer a rookie. He's really definitely ready to get it done. But the Chargers, in the last 10 years, 5 matchups, no wins against the Patriots. Belichick is good against no matter who he's coaching against right now. But, Damian Harris definitely, he's going to have to step up this week, take some pressure off of Mac Jones, Jacoby Myers. It's a tough secondary to be going off against.
No, absolutely. This is definitely a different Chargers team though from what we saw last year. Absolutely. The one big key in this game that you got to keep an eye on is that Austin Eckler did not practice Thursday. It's looking like he might not play this weekend. Going to be a game time decision. So that's a huge loss for their team. He's been doing everything for them, receiving, rushing, finding the end zone, literally just been an all-around back for them. And I'm a little worried without that injury. That's going to be a huge blow to their offense. He has just been such a staple. But Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, those guys are going to get it done. I got to ask you, who do the Patriots need to focus on? Either one of these guys can be the wide receiver one, depending on the week, depending on the matchup. If you're Bill Belichick, who are you trying to cover this entire game and going to send that double coverage to?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's got to be what Mike Williams is doing. You got to get him, but you got to take care of Keenan Allen no matter what. He's a top 15 guy, in this league at that position. So, at the end of the day, Mike Williams has become the touchdown threat. You need to stop them from scoring. So, I think J.C. Jackson winds up lining up, against probably Mike Williams, against Keenan Allen actually one-on-one. And then you have, on the goal line, you're going to have, Chung, McCourty over the top, making sure Williams cannot get it done. But, I really still like the Chargers in this one. They're at home. They've been playing well. They're coming off the bye. They had a terrible game against the Ravens 2 weeks ago. This could be a good opportunity for them to bounce back.
Yeah, I'm going to go with you on this one as well. I think that last year's game, I had to mention it because it's a bit of a goose egg, but much different Chargers team. Herbert's picked up right where he left off. They're winning a lot of games. They're winning big games. They're winning it easily, and they're not by these close margins anymore that we kept seeing. They were only, it was like 7 or 9 games last year. They were within one possession. Now they're showing that not only can they get into that one possession realm, but they can go above and beyond it. Love the win against the Ravens, like you just mentioned. I'm locking in the Chargers as well. Moving on, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars heading to Seattle to take on the Seahawks. I don't know how I feel about this game, buddy. What about you?
Yeah, the Chargers, the Seahawks last week, they were able to, kind of go back and forth with the Saints, but that was one of the worst primetime games that we had this season. And honestly, outside of the DK Metcalf 84-yard touchdown last week, there's really not much to, look on the bright side. Either Tyler Lockett is not involved in this offense. The running backs, Chris Carson, Alex Collins, are hurt. Their defense right now is really not getting it done in the way that we have seen Seahawks defenses get it done over the last couple of, years. Right now, the 27th ranked pass defense, 30th ranked defense. And what I'm looking for is, Trevor Lawrence and, James Robinson need to take advantage of that and try to get their win. I really do think that they do it this week. I just do not trust Geno Smith running this offense, and Pete Carroll without Russell Wilson. It's just not good for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to side with you. This is definitely Jacksonville's game to lose, if anything. I think they're gonna get the win. I'm right there with you. I don't think Geno Smith has shown enough to prove to us that he can win these games. Alex Collins had 16 rushes for only 35 yards last week. That's not what you want to see. Their offensive line was not winning it in the trenches against the Saints. They just, Lockett's not getting enough receptions. And then after that first catch by DK Metcalf, they didn't target him for almost 3 quarters after that.
It's like a crime. You can't get a guy who gets an 84-yard touchdown like that in a primetime game and then just not, create the plays that you need to make those people successful. It's just tough. I mean, Jacksonville, we've seen them, mess up many times this year where they can lose a game. But this one I like. I like Jacksonville. Where are they?
I'm right there with you. I think this is going to be a surprise game. And also Jamal Adams, highest paid safety in the NFL, has not been playing like it thus far this season. And he was an absolute sack monster last year. Hasn't notched a sack yet. But moving on, we have the Washington football team heading out to Denver to take on the Broncos. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, it's interesting. Both of these teams, they have losing records. They're both in tough divisions right now. And, what we're looking for is both of these defenses to, kind of step up. The Denver defense has been keeping them in games this year. They have, a very good rushing defense. And when it comes to points, they're great. But then Washington, we expected them to be a playoff defense this year, and they are literally the worst in defense right now when it comes to allowing points. They're giving up 30 a game, and this could be an opportunity for your guy Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, I want Teddy to do well, man. He's always been my guy ever since we drafted him. I've just loved him. I think that this is definitely a game for him to do so and to go out there and play well. Like you're saying, this Washington defense is not anywhere near what we expected it to be, which is insane considering how much talent they have on the front, on that defensive front, and it just hasn't been very good. What I do like about them, though, is Heineke isn't afraid to throw the ball right to Terry, regardless of how many guys are around him. He'll always throw him that 50-50 ball. You love to see that out of the offense for sure. But I'm going to go with the Broncos. I think that Teddy against a weak defense is going to be solid. Javonte Williams is slowly coming into his role. He's looking like the future running back of this team. And I think as the season progresses, we're going to see a lot more of him. He's still splitting carries with Melvin Gordon, who's been looking efficient at times. I expect a big Cortland Sutton game for sure. A big Noah Fant game. Absolutely. I think this game is going to be close and kind of high scoring. I just feel like that's what this game is going to be designed around. But I think the Broncos are going to end up coming out on top.
Yeah, it could be a close game. Like you mentioned, just Taylor Heineke, he's a gunslinger. Definitely could be a cool one. I'm going to go with the Broncos as well. Like you just, to agree with your points, they have, the weapons to kind of get this done. The defense is solid enough. But when I'm looking at it, one quick question before we move on. I want to make sure, you mentioned Terry McLaurin, but Cortland Sutton is slowly having a great season after missing all last year. So who do you think gets more yards in this one?
I'm going to go with Terry, but it's not because of the talent. I think it's just there's so much more. There's other receivers on the Broncos that can easily step up when they need them. Outside of Terry right now, there hasn't been that guy. They're passing a lot towards their tight end and Ricky Seals-Jones, which you love to see, which means that when Logan Thomas is back, expect him to be seeing a lot of the target share. But, you got Cortland Sutton, you got Tim Kirkpatrick, you got a lot of these guys. You can know a fan like you're gonna be able to find the ways to move the ball downfield. Heineke's mainly looking at Terry.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna go with Terry on that one. But it's just because of that. The target share for Cortland Sutton's a little bit more. Moving on, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers heading to the New Orleans Saints in an NFC showdown. Now, last year, the Saints swept them in the regular season, but lost in the playoffs. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, no Drew Brees this time around. We now have Jameis Winston and this New Orleans offense that honestly against Seattle, which we just mentioned, it looked awful. Outside of Alvin Kamara, who we expected to have a good season, we don't see any, progress in this passing game right now. And Tampa Bay, they're the best passing offense with 324 a game, just putting in perspective. And New Orleans only 176 games, second worst right now. And when it comes to rushing, both these teams are middle of the pack. But when it comes to defending the run, Tampa is first with 67 yards a game. New Orleans is 80 yards a game. That's second best. So both these running games is going to be very tough, especially for Kamara to get going in this one.
Yeah, I feel like that's the back that you would expect to get the most carries, the most looks, the most target shares. I will say the addition of Mark Ingram is going to be huge for this team. Not only is he very familiar with the offense, they themselves, Kamara and Ingram, just, they mesh so well, but Kamara's been seeing a lot of the workload at this season. And at this pace, he's not going to be able to continue doing this, come week 17, week 18, 19, as we get into the playoffs. They're a playoff potential team. So getting Mark Ingram in here to help sort of, relieve some of the workload is going to be huge. I do expect them to rush for over 67 yards against the Buccaneers just because they have a really good 1-2 tandem. Their passing offense, like you said, has not been amazing. Michael Thomas still doesn't look like he's going to be playing this week, potentially next week as he's coming off from his injury this season. I'm going to go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I am riding with Brady and everything that he's been doing this season. He has looked absolutely electric at 44 years old, has a 21-3 touchdown interception ratio, is throwing the ball over 400 yards a game. Like you said, there's been no signs of slowing down. The entire offense is getting involved. Mike Evans had 3 touchdowns last week. He threw for a 600 touchdown last week. If you haven't also seen that storyline, please do yourself a favor. Go look into it. The guy who gave back the ball got so much in return. Wish I was him. Oh my God, what a return. He got two years of season tickets, man, a signed jersey from a signed football from my
and a Bitcoin.
And Bitcoin worth like 60 grand. Like what a full year salary was given
insane.
To him. So that was absolutely insane. I just think that the Buccaneers, despite their defensive woes, they are looking like a top tier team. Absolutely. And you have to ride with them. There's no slowing them down unless you're the Rams.
Yeah. I mean, this one simply for me is as well, simply put, basically, for me, I'm also looking at a big Chris Godwin game here with Marshawn Lattimore, great defender, great corner, stopping Mike Evans. I don't think he'll have 3 touchdowns this week, but Chris Godwin, no Antonio Brown. He's been targeted over 10 times, 3 times this year. Very confident in Chris Godwin, confident in this Tampa Bay rushing defense. It's locked and loaded with Tampa this week.
Yep, absolutely. All right, let's move on to some Sunday night football. And everyone's probably like, why is Sean so excited for some Sunday night football? It's because my Minnesota Vikings are hosting the Dallas Cowboys. Now, we have a tendency to lose at home to them and have a tendency to beat them on the away games. This is a very weird thing that we do with them. I will just want to say one thing before I let Jack get into this. The wide receiver matchups in this one are absolutely electric. This is going to be the offensive weapons in general. Absolutely electric. We got Amari Cooper. We got CeeDee Lamb. We got Justin Jefferson. We got Adam Thielen. We got Dalvin Cook. We got Ezekiel Elliott. I think this is going to be an offensive showcase on Sunday night.
Yeah, offensive is right. I mean, with Dallas, they're the best scoring offense right now, 34 points a game. We are definitely looking at a shootout. Minnesota's going to have to keep up with them. We saw them do the same thing with the Cardinals game. But both these teams, top 6 in passing, top 8 in rushing. I'm loving what I'm seeing from both these teams. It's crazy. 55-point over-under for this one, and only a 1.5-point spread. It's pretty insane when you're looking at that, expecting a hugely close game. But I got to say, at home, I like the Vikings in this one. I think they need this win. They need to, be able to take Dallas to a close game. Dalvin Cook, I think this is a big game for him. I'm ready. I'm ready for the Vikings. Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, give me all of it. I'm ready.
Yeah, we lost this game last year to Andy Dalton, and that was a tough one to watch. I do expect a lot of CeeDee Lamb, a lot of Justin Jefferson, a lot of Adam Thielen, a lot of Cook, a lot of Elliott, all of these big names that we've been mentioning. Vikings right now tied for first in the NFL with 21 sacks, which I love to see after we only had 23 total last year. No Patrick Peterson this one. He is on the IR for 3 weeks with the hamstring injury. Lucky for us, we did have a bye week last week, which is always good. So hopefully he only misses 2 games. This is going to be one of those games. So that's a huge hold of the Phillies. Been having a solid season for us thus far. It's gonna be hard to cover Amari Cooper. I'm worried about our defense a little bit in this one, even though we've had a vast improvement from last year. If Prescott's in, he has a calf strain injury. He practiced yesterday, and he was really sore the following day. It's still 50-50 about whether or not he's going to be in on this game. If he's in, I'm sticking with the Cowboys on this one. He's been having an electric season. He's been looking fantastic coming back from the injury. If he is out, though, the Vikings can beat Cooper Rush, both defensively and offensively. I think that we can definitely do that. So for me, it comes down to Prescott, whether or not he's in. He's in. I don't love the Vikings in this one. I think our secondary is going to see a big Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb day. But with Cooper rushing, I think it turns a little bit more into our favor. And one thing I do want to highlight is Kirk Cousins in our offensive line has had a very, very good season. And I'm happy to see that. I like what Christian Darrisaw, our first round pick, has done thus far, even though he's had a late start to the season.
Exactly. The Vikings are looking exactly like they're in place right now. They're looking to take on big games like this, prove they're a playoff caliber team. I'm down with them this week, man.
Dude, I'm hoping for it. I'm so 50-50. That's what I'm saying. If Prescott gets in, we're probably not. But if they're out, if he's out, we're definitely going to win. I'm just excited that not a lot of people probably are aware of this. We live in New York, so the Vikings
Yeah.
are not ever on TV because I don't own DirecTV. So this is just so nice that I actually get to use cable for this game, not Sunday tickets. So I'm pumped. I hope we win, man. I know that the entire Skull chant's going to be there. The Vikings fan base is going to be there. I'm looking forward to it. But that is all the time that we have. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and thank you everyone for listening.
Yeah, guys, enjoy the Sunday games. Thank you guys for always checking this out. Just Saying Football, justsayingfootball.com for all our videos, and Just Saying No GWJS on Instagram for all our video and article updates. Thank you guys for checking us out.
Enjoy.